Man be man is back.
Oh, okay, Jay, boys, done it again. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. You talk to us, you talk to him, but oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, Dash the True Inferno. And I'm here with a Call of Duty World War II gameplay. Yes. Now let's get into this video because I have a pretty sneaky suspicion that it's going to be a long video. So, starting today on this video and going on to hopefully the next 2 videos, I'm going to spend some time talking about one word in the form of examples, and that is branding. So, as far as, in terms of what that is, some of you may be asking, what is branding? What are you talking about? So let's start with talking about what a brand is. So a brand is a well-known entity, or it could be a company or individual or a group. So for example, McDonald's is a brand. Nike is a brand. Steph Curry is a brand. Kevin Durant is a brand. LeBron James is a brand. True Inferno is a brand. But anywho, you get the point. So a brand is somebody who is really well known and or potentially popular, that they're mostly popular and well known for good reasons. So for example, let's say the brand that I'm going to talk about is Rockstar. Okay, so Rockstar makes video games. So when Rockstar first came out, and I ain't being factually correct here, they started with the Midnight Club series, and they were pretty good. Then they moved on to the likes of Grand Theft Auto, and they've been pretty good. So it wasn't until Grand Theft Auto 3 was really when Rockstar blew up. So now, at this point, anytime Rockstar releases a game, for the most part, people are going to just buy it because it's Rockstar. And the mindset here is, oh, we know it's going to be good because they've been good in the past. It's it's Rockstar. This is especially true with Grand Theft. Like, whatever Grand Theft drops, everybody going to get it because it's Grand Theft. So that's a brand. And that's really a definition of branding. So where basically you go out and buy that item or that product, mostly because it was made by a certain company or it was sponsored by a certain individual, whatever. So you buy not because it's good or not, you because of who made it or who selling it or whatever. So, and that could be a bad thing. That could be a bad thing. So I'm gonna give you 3 examples of this, and the first one starts today, and we're gonna talk about Sandisk and Nintendo. Now I'm kind of late. There's no kind of to this. am late to this party right here. And this is the first of 3 examples that I want to bring to you guys, because branding takes many shapes and forms. So the first form is just really buying the product, no matter how much it costs. The second form is buying the product, no matter whether it's at its fullest capabilities or not, like whether it's at that point where you think it will match your expectations, whether whether it does or not, you still buy anyway. And then the third example is basically you'll support it no matter what. So let's get on to the first example, which is you'll buy the product no matter what. So in the case of SanDisk and Nintendo, so in case you don't know what SanDisk is a company, as far as I know, that makes memory cards. So we're talking memory cards for your phone, memory cards for your camera, memory cards for your camcorder, and memory cards for gaming systems, for some, not all, but some gaming systems. So a couple of weeks back, maybe a few weeks back, maybe a month or so ago, they partnered up with Nintendo because earlier this year, Nintendo came out with the Nintendo Switch. And as you all, in case you ain't following me on my True and Fun of Pokemon Go Adventure channel, I got the Nintendo Switch, the Super Mario Odyssey bundle. And the problem with the Switch, the same problem they've been having with the Wii U, and I believe the Wii as well, and that is the lack of an internal storage. So what I mean by that is, when you get the system, there's not a lot of memory in the system, as is. You only get 32 gigabytes. That's it. And that's not much. That's really ain't. So what happens is, if you own a Switch or a Wii U or whatever, you have to go out and get more memory. Now here's where the problem comes to play. What you're looking at on your screen right now is Amazon.com. So right now you're looking at a Samsung memory card. This is a 64 gigabytes and it's $22.99, basically 23 bucks. So here's what I want you to look at. The 100 megabytes per speed, the microSD XC Evo. I don't know what those SDXC means, but I'm assuming it means either top of the line or it's pretty damn close. Now the 100 megabytes per speed, or per second rather, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So keep that in mind. And again, the most important thing is it costs $22.99, and this is a 64 gigabyte. Now, SanDisk also make these types of memory cards, and they have one that is around that $22 range. It's slightly cheaper than this one, you know, like a few cents or whatever, but it's not as good. It's like a step or two behind this one. Now, why am I bringing both of these up? Because both of these, the Samsung one that you're looking at and the SanDisk one that I was just talking about, that's like a step or two behind this one, they both work on the Nintendo Switch. So if you need more memory, you can, if you pick up one of these two, the one you see on the screen right now, or the one that I was talking about, the SanDisk one, you will be just fine. So let me show you guys how much SanDisk and Nintendo are charging you for a 64 gigabyte, 100 megabytes per second micro SD XC Evo memory card. And that is this right here. You see that? $50. $50. So this joint, again, 64 gigabytes, micro SD XC, and even though you don't see it on the screen, but if you look on the next image, it will actually say up to 100 megabytes per second. So it's the same thing as the Samsung. They both the same. It's just that the Samsung is 23 bucks, but this one's 50. But no, here's the tripped out part. When I first found out about this, I found out about this from Review Tech USA, who did a video about this. This joint was 100 bucks. If you look at that picture, the Best Buy one, notice the red box, or the red box, it says save $50. Well, and then next to it says was $99.99. So what that means is when this joint first came out, it was 100 bucks. If you would have went to SanDisk's actual website and looked this up, now it will say $49.99. There's no save 50 bucks, and it won't mention the previous price like Best Buy is. But prior to that, it was 100 on their site too. But it get worse. So basically, before I explain how it get worse, let me break this down for you real quick. This was being sold for 100 bucks, and the Samsung one was nearly $80 cheaper, and it was just as good as the SanDisk Nintendo Switch version. So they basically both of them are the same memory card. They both work on the Switch and everything. It's just that one costs 23 bucks. The other one used to cost 100 bucks, but now it costs 50. And then remember, the SanDisk had another one that was 64 gigabytes. Again, not as good as the Samsung, not as good as the SanDisk Nintendo Switch edition, but it was like a step or two back for around that $22 range, like 22 and some change, not $22.99. But again, it still would have worked, it still would work on your Switch. So for you to, I mean, come on, really? But again, it get worse than that. So with that said, let's look at Samsung's 128 gigabyte one. So this one, again, 100 megabytes per second. Again, it's a micro SD Evo joint. And this one is $44.99. So we getting up there on the price. But again, 128 gigabytes, 100 megabytes per second. So again, it's pretty good. It's really, really good. 128 gigabytes. You can't go wrong with that. Now, let's look at and see. There was no lower SanDisk version, but let's look at and see how much the Nintendo Switch Edition same memory costs. And actually, before I do that, there's one more thing I want to look at. Let's look at the 256 gigabyte by Samsung. So this one, 256 gigabyte, same speed, 100 megabytes per second, and micro SDXC, and this one $150. So okay, now we're getting up there. Now this is high, but again, 256 gigabytes. That's a lot of memory. That's a lot of memory. So if you got the money, yeah, sure, why not? Now remember these two numbers in your head. Remember, the 256 gigabyte is $150. The 128 gigabytes is $45. So let's look at the Nintendo Switch Edition, the SanDisk memory card. That's at 128 gigabytes. There's no 256 on that edition. And ladies and gentlemen, right now that memory card costs $90. It costs $90. So for $90, you will get the exact same thing you will get with the Samsung version, which again costs $45. So this is half of that. But no, it gets worse than that. Remember the red box for the 64 gigabytes? Look how much you're saving with this one. $110. So yes, and next to that, what does it say? Was $199.99. So yes, when this one first came out, this one was $200. I am not lying. You see it right there. It was $200. So let me get this straight. The Samsung version, same memory, same speed, is $45. The Samsung version, double the memory, 256, same speed, was $150. And SanDisk, and the Nintendo tried to sell this one for $200 for half the memory for $50 more. So let me break this down for you real quick. So remember, SanDisk had a 256 gigabyte one that cost $150. Now the SanDisk Nintendo Switch version have half of that memory. So 256, take half of that away, you get 128. But yet they want to charge you $50 more than the 256 one that was done by Samsung. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. Now again, that's how much it was back then, like a few weeks ago, rather. Now it's $90, but again, that's still ridiculous. And you want to know why? Because the Samsung version, same memory, same speed, same everything, is half. It's half. How is that possible? Why is that possible? That makes no sense. No, for a Samsung, their prices, no, that makes perfect sense. But for a SanDisk and Nintendo, that makes no sense. None whatsoever. So you probably ask yourself, well, why did they mark their prices down by half? When I mean by day, I mean SanDisk. Because remember, the 64 was 100, they marked it down to 50. The 128 was 200, they marked it down. Actually, this is more than half. They marked it down by 90. So why did they do this? Well, there's two reasons why they did it. The first reason, because it's November. So you know what's happening, right? Outside of Thanksgiving. And no, that's in Christmas, Boxing Day, which is up in Canada. But anywho, it's Black Friday month. And some of these companies like to do their Black Friday sales early. Best Buy is one of them. But again, this ain't just a Best Buy deal. No, this is on SanDisk's website. This is on SanDisk's personal website. Like this 128 is $90 on their website. The 64 gigabyte is $50 on their website. So it could be a Black Friday deal, you know, that SanDisk is doing, forcing every other retailer to do. Or they saw that some people were complaining online, making videos, ranting about this, in combination of people saying, you know what, screw that, I could get one just as good, if not better, for less. And then it was like, we ain't selling. We got to mark these prices down. And you know what? Y'all still ain't going to sell. Y'all still ain't going to sell because Samsung got the exact same memory card at a better price, at a more reasonable price. So for Sandisk and Nintendo to mark theirs down by half or more than half or whatever, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Nobody with a good sense of mind, with the right sense of mind rather, is going to buy this. They're not going to buy either one of them. And when they first came out with both of these memory cards at their original prices, they were hoping that some sap would go into a GameStop or a Best Buy and say, you know what? Either my kid needs a memory card for the Switch or I need a memory card for the Switch because I'm out of memory. Nintendo. And I don't know what to get. I just know I need a microSD card. And then they see microSD card and then on it says Nintendo Switch. That's it. That's the one I want. I don't care about the ones next to it that are cheap but just as good, if not better. I want that one because that is a microSD and it says Nintendo Switch on it. I know for a fact that I want that. And how much is it? We got 100, 200? Well, I do need one, so let me get that 100 one. Really? That's what they want you to do. That's what some of these companies want you to do. They want you to buy their product because of their name. Because of their name. Doesn't matter what the price is. They just want you to buy it because of their name. So Sandisk is a popular name. It's a well-known name in terms of memory cards and things of that nature. But then again, so is Samsung. So why would you go with Sandisk in this Nintendo Switch version where you can just get the Samsung version? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So this is part 1. Hopefully part 2 is next week, and then hopefully part 3 is the week after that. But I have a feeling with Thanksgiving and Black Friday being in the middle of next week's video and the video after that, something's going to happen, and I'm going to have to talk about it. So part 3 may be pushed back a week or so. I can just see it now. I'd be shocked if I does not have to push back either one of these videos. So with that said, man, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.